Hello, everyone, and welcome to this amazing event on all things cruising concierge with Disney Cruise Line. We are so excited to have you all joining us this evening. We're so excited to be joined by Karen Shelton, who is an amazing travel agent with My Path Unwinding. And we are going to let you guys come on in. And you guys are going to have to let us know where you're joining from, and let us know in the comments if you've already cruised concierge, if you have a cruise booked already and you're just wanting to learn a little bit more. We are going to do our best to go through all the questions that were submitted ahead of time. But of course, if you have anything else, feel free to put those in the comments and we will do our best to get to those. But Karen, do you want to go ahead and quickly introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Rebecca, for this opportunity and for hosting an amazing community of Disney cruisers all over the internet. I'm Karen Shelton. I'm here in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. I am an avid Disney cruiser and a huge fan of cruising in concierge level. I own My Path Unwinding Travel, which is a full service travel agency. We are an authorized Disney vacation planner agency, which means we are very much focused on our Disney training, expertise, sales, and all of that relationships with Disney. And we are very much focused on providing the best service for folks that are choosing to sail on Disney Cruise Line, whether you're in an inside get me on the ship stateroom, I call it get me on the ship at any price, or if you're one of many of our clients who will only sail concierge, which is the most exclusive top level of service on Disney Cruise Line. And in fact, about 70% of our Disney Cruise Line business is concierge. So we are really well positioned to answer everyone's questions about what it means to sail on Disney Cruise Line in concierge.
Amazing. And I know I am definitely a get me on the ship. I don't care where I stay, but the more and more I learn about concierge, I'm like, ooh, have I been missing out this whole time? So I am excited to learn a little bit more. If you want to take it from here, Karen.
Sure. And, I'd like to say that there's no such thing as a bad cruise. I mean, there's probably a few out there on maybe some other cruise lines that maybe are not such positive experiences, but really anytime you're on Disney, you do get full access to almost everything on the ship. But and you can have a great time. Most people don't sail in concierge and they keep coming back. So you're going to have a great cruise no matter what. But I'm here tonight to really explain what concierge means and what the benefits are in terms of why you are spending that extra money. So there's a lot to cover. We'll try to answer questions, and then I am always here to answer questions. At any time, feel free to message me, reach out, email me. And we have a group specifically for concierge cruisers called Disney Cruise Line Concierge Guests that everybody is welcome to join. So the first thing that I want to talk about is where the benefits start when you book a concierge stateroom or a suite. And it starts actually before you even sail. And this is a really important benefit. When you are a new cruiser, you may not be able to book your onboard, your cruise activities, your shore excursions, your adult dining, spa, and all those things until a couple months before you sail. Whereas other folks who have higher status in their castaway club, who have sailed more, can begin booking those cruise activities 120 days in advance. But concierge cruisers, no matter what your castaway club status, get to skip the line and get to begin requesting their cruise activities at 130 days. And this has changed actually probably in the last 6 months. It used to be 125 days. There might still be some articles or posts out there on social media or on the internet that say it's 125. It's really important for everybody that's cruising concierge to know that you can submit your requests at 130 days to the concierge team. Right now, you don't even have to be paid in full for concierge to process those requests. At some
Wow.
point, it will go back to the original policy where you do have to be paid in full. But right now, as Disney is extending the final payment date for everybody to 60 days prior to sale, they are extending a courtesy to concierge cruisers to go ahead and help them with their plans, even if they're not paid in full. So what you see here on this slide is somebody that, it says, hey, you can't book your cruise activities till November. But if they were concierge, they would have been able to book them another 2 months or longer earlier. And to do that with the help of the concierge team, the shoreside concierge team, and hopefully with their travel advisor, because it's really important to get those requests in exactly at midnight on the appropriate date.
Yes.
So all of those benefits, all the things that you can book at 130 days, gives you a step ahead of even those platinum cruisers. And one of the most popular things that people book or request are cabanas on Castaway Cay. So it's kind of ironic. Yes, you're paying more for concierge just so you can go ahead and pay again to have the privilege of having a cabana. But for many concierge cruisers, that is an important, well worth it benefit. Also making sure that you get those, high in-demand reservations for Palo brunch or Remy dinner, and certain other onboard activities like beverage seminars, for example, mixology or the champagne tastings and all those great things.
And what about the cabanas is so special? What do they cost? I guess first question, and what's included that makes them such a hot commodity?
So the price of the cabanas will vary based on the time that you're cruising and the location of your cabana. There is a family beach at Castaway Cay, and there's also the adult-only beach, Serenity Bay. Both of those have cabanas. Serenity Bay has very, very few. But they give you a much quieter private section of beach. They give you a beautiful, building basically that you can stay in with couches and chairs and a refrigerator and a sound system. The bartender will come and bring you drinks. Outside, there's a deck with more seating, hammocks, floaties and equipment for the, to explore the beach and the ocean. You get bikes, you get snorkel equipment included, and you just get that higher level of service and exclusivity. So for people that just really like not feeling like they're part of the crowd and want something special, the cabana is the place to be on Castaway Cay.
Now, if someone isn't cruising concierge, is there any chance of them ever getting a cabana, or is it? Oh, go ahead.
There is, but I would say it's exceedingly rare, because remember that after the concierge cruisers, then the platinum cruisers get to book. So even the platinum cruisers are finding it hard these days to get a cabana because they're almost always taken by concierge folks. But what we always say is, if you're not cruising concierge, join your Facebook group for your sailing. See if anybody maybe wants to go in on one together that has one. See if anybody's getting ready to cancel. And then even when you're on the ship, reach out to guest services, because concierge will find out if there are cancellations for the cabanas, and then they'll let guest services know if nobody in concierge is going to take them. So sometimes there's a surprise, and you just never know. You might luck out.
Yes. And if you don't get a cabana, don't worry. You're still going to have an amazing time. Castaway is the best place on the planet. It's beautiful. All the beaches are amazing. But the cabanas.
Exactly. And you know what I say again, most people don't sail concierge and most people don't get cabanas, and they still have a fantastic time on Disney. But so, that's some of the advanced benefit of sailing concierge is, before you even step foot on the ship, you have a whole team prioritizing your requests. But then the next benefit is when you board. And so, a lot of people know that 30 days prior to your departure date, you have to get online and finish your check-in process and get what's called a port arrival time, or a PAT. Most people are so eager to board that they want to get the earliest time possible. Well, if you're concierge, you can just sit back and relax because you don't need a PAT. You can arrive at the port anytime you want after the terminal opens. So most of our clients do choose to get there as early as possible so they can be one of the first on the ship and head to the lounge or to the exclusive lunch that's offered for concierge guests. And at the ports, there is priority boarding, separate entrances, and in Port Canaveral especially, there's a private lounge just for the concierge cruisers. Sometimes there's a separate waiting area. Definitely Port Canaveral has it the best, but again, it just starts off your experience in style. So yeah, and I see that Lauren mentioned that she also wants a Royal Princess tea, and that's another onboard experience besides the cabanas that sell out quickly, and that's another reason to book concierge.
Amazing. And if you book concierge, do you have to actually stay up until midnight and send that request, unless you have a travel agent who can send it in for you, right? You are waiting.
If you want to make sure that your request is prioritized, it needs to be sent in at midnight on the dot Eastern time on the right date. And especially for cabanas, because they do prioritize the requests in the order received. And with over 70 concierge staterooms and suites on the Wish that goes to Castaway Cay, unfortunately, at times, not even all the concierge cruisers can get a cabana. So it's important to be aware of that. And we do that as a service for our clients, is we make sure it's sent out exactly on the dot. Some of your other requests that you want to make ahead of time, like asking for Coke versus Evian in your in-room refrigerator, which they'll take that request and stock your fridge. That's not a priority. You can decide on that later. But, there's certain things that are in high demand need to be requested right at midnight, just to make sure that you're going to get that locked in.
Amazing. Yes, we always see the question of, why should I use a travel agent? What's the perk? And this is one of them. I don't know about you guys, but I value my sleep. So if I don't have to wait up until midnight and I can be asleep and have my travel agent take care of it for me, that's a vote yes for me.
Exactly. And we really have this process down. As I said, we work with so many concierge cruisers that, we understand all the different requests that can be made and when to send it in. So, but now that you've boarded the ship, one of the most coveted areas that is not accessible to anybody but concierge guests is the Concierge Lounge on board. Every one of the 5 ships has a concierge lounge. They differ in terms of their size, their amenity, their location, their view, but they all share definitely some things in common. And everyone has, kind of a special place. So, Lauren, we're with My Path Unwinding Travel. Hopefully you see that on the slide. And thanks, Rebecca, for posting that link. That's amazing.
And we are recording this, so and it'll be in the group and on the page and on YouTube. So if y'all need that link, it'll be in the description there, so you can just copy and paste it into your browser if you need it.
So like I said, every one of the ships has a lounge, and they all have a sun deck of sorts. So a private outside area, and they each have kind of different amenities available to them. So this is a couple of shots of the Concierge Lounge. The top one is the Disney Wish, which really now has set a new bar for an amazing concierge experience, with just a huge concierge lounge inside and a 2-story outside private sun deck on the very front of the ship, with absolute gorgeous views, hot tubs, a little splash area to kind of sit in and cool off, so much seating, an outdoor bar as well as the indoor bar, new food offerings because this lounge has its own galley. So they're able to make hot food items and special things that the other ships can't do. So, but all of them have a bartender service with happy hour between 5 and 10 p.m. every night. That's complimentary. So you can, head over to the lounge before dinner, after dinner, both.
Yes.
Before your show, after your show, go grab a beverage of your choice. And they have a wide variety. They can also take requests for what wine you like or what cocktail you like. And the bartenders will get to know you, and they knew that I liked an Aperol Spritz every night before dinner and maybe a glass of wine later. So that's just such a wonderful thing. And, lots of folks go ahead and, get a glass or two and take it down to dinner with them so they don't have to order wine off the, menu. And, I don't think you sail in concierge to save money, but you do, get a little bit of perks there that can, you don't have to pay for your drinks, at least in the evening hour.
Yeah, it kind of offsets that cost. And question for you, if I'm someone who I don't really like to drink and would much prefer a milkshake or a smoothie or something like that, would that still be included?
So it depends. Yeah, it's the lounges don't usually have blended drinks, but they definitely have some kinds of mocktails, soft drinks, of course, juices, all kinds of, things for the kids. The Disney Wish Lounge on the outside area has some smoothie machines going all day now. And those are non-alcoholic. And so everybody can enjoy those. And then the bartender can spike those up if you want. And the Disney Wish Lounge inside has a much larger bartending area, and they do have blenders. So that may be an option to get some more of your kind of virgin cocktails.
Amazing. Okay, so concierge definitely has something for everyone.
Absolutely. And then of course, food service all day long. I mentioned the bartending, but there's food service all day long, from, kind of items in the morning through midday. Tea time is wonderful with little tea sandwiches and treats, kind of more appetizers in the evening on up to desserts. Again, on the Wish, they've stepped it up with hot items that are a little bit elevated and that rotate throughout the day and throughout the week. There is a coffee machine in all of the lounges that make espresso, cappuccino, and hot chocolate. They are great. It's not cheap stuff. It's a beautiful machine. The Wish has, I think, can't remember now if it was 3 or 4 of them. It's because it's a larger lounge. They really set the standard again. They have multiple machines. They are self-service. They are currently not available 24 hours, but they are available, all day that the lounge is open, and it's complimentary.
Amazing.
So those are some great features in the lounge.
Now, is the lounge?
There's a picture of the one of the famous coffee machines, and you see there's syrup and there's all kinds of little things to make your coffee special.
Yes, and I know somebody asked to see the fancy coffee machine, so thank you for pulling it up. Great timing. And is this lounge located in the same place on all of the ships?
So again, it's going to vary. So on the Disney Dream and Disney Fantasy, the lounge is on deck 12, which the concierge rooms are on deck 11 and 12. So it's very nearby. You might have to hop up some stairs, but it's all in the forward part of the ship. So very, very close. On the Wonder and the Magic, all of the concierge rooms are on deck 8. The concierge lounge is a little bit further up on the ship, but it's just a quick hop, skip, and a jump. And that's because those ships were not designed with concierge lounges. So they kind of retrofitted them.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So originally they started concierge service, but there wasn't a lounge. And so they might have had some special cocktail hours and special, spots on board, or they would come to your room and check on you. With the newer ships, the Concierge Lounge became so popular and in demand that they added that to the Wonder and the Magic. And now, of course, on the Wish, the Concierge Lounge is a 2-story lounge on deck, accessible on deck 12 and 13. The outdoor areas are on deck 12 and 13. The inside is really just deck 12. Most of the concierge staterooms are on deck 12 and 13, but there are also some on deck 11. So, some people like to make sure that they're really super close to it. And some people, have preferences for some other special room categories that they might prefer and say it's okay if they're a little bit further away from the lounge.
Got it.
So this is a picture of the concierge sun deck on the Wonder. The Wonder and the Magic have beautiful seating areas, plush seating, shady seating, but no water feature. Whereas here's the picture of the Wish, where there's 2 hot tubs and that they call it a waiting pool, but if you see, it's almost like a little bench to sit on with sprayers and water kind of coming down. So it's really actually more of an adult pool in a way, not even a pool, just a cooling off area than a place for kids, although kids are welcome in all concierge areas. And then on the Disney Dream and the Disney Fantasy, they both have hot tubs on their sun decks. So, that again, these are exclusive for concierge guests. They're controlled by key access and just a really another nice feature. So, and then I also want to talk about the concierge team, because that's really where the magic happens. Disney is really about the people and the service on board, right? And I think that's true for any Disney product. It's the cast members and the crew members that make it magical. Mm-hmm. And so on board every ship, there is a concierge team. All the ships have a team of 3. The concierge on the Wish actually has 4, because there are, since there's more concierge staterooms, they have a larger team, and they are available by app and in the Concierge Lounge to substitute for guest services. If you are in concierge, you will never have to go down to guest services to stand in line. So wow. They are your guest service team. They will help with, changing your dining around, with trying to work you into that last minute brunch reservation, to seeing if you can switch your port adventure, to making change for you, to just answering your questions, dealing with any issues or concerns. And these folks are the nicest, most knowledgeable, informative members of the crew. I mean, they are just so warm, professional, friendly. And I know many of us have made friendships with concierge team that last beyond our cruise. And, we just really trust them, admire them, and they just really make the cruise special.
And do you have to tip them differently than you do? And I know that Disney just updated their tipping standards for the rest of the people who are taking care of you. So I'm assuming you also tip these guys, and is it the same or different?
So yes, and that's, been a little bit in flux. Disney did start providing a guideline for tipping the concierge team. It's not an automatic tip position like the other positions on board. And they used to be quite silent about it. But they now have added a guideline towards the end of your cruise. They give you a letter about how you can show your appreciation for the concierge managers, which is their correct title. They're all considered managers, guest service managers, so they're called concierge managers. However, many of us feel like the recommendation is far too low. And I have a survey. I can post a link to getting it, or you can email me, that we did of our concierge cruisers of what they typically tip the concierge managers. And while there's a huge range and it's always at your discretion, from our survey, most people gave a lot more than what the recommendation was. And we're just concerned that these concierge managers are going to end up getting less now that Disney has provided that guideline. But again, it's, it's one of those things where it's at your discretion. And, you might feel like they did more or less for you. It's important to know that no matter who you work with and who you hand the tip to, they all are going to share in it because they do work as a team. They have different hours. They know that they make connections with different people. And so they just have this kind of, team approach that they do pool all the gratuities. So don't feel like, if you only see one person that the others are going to suffer, or that, that's just how they roll.
Amazing.
So, as I said, there's so much to talk about, but, one of the questions that we get is, can I add concierge to my room? Like, can I, and, in some hotels, around the country, you can book a room and then pay for kind of that club level access to be able to go into the lounge. On Disney, that is not the case. You have to book into one of the concierge categories in order to access these benefits. So there are regular concierge staterooms, and then there are suites. So, and all the way on up to the most amazing royal suites. On the Wish, there's some new categories, including a really cool concierge stateroom without a veranda. And I know some people think, wow, I wouldn't cruise without a veranda, but these are some beautiful Little Mermaid themed suites on the very front of the ship with gorgeous, a whole wall of floor to ceiling windows. And it's almost like having a balcony inside your stateroom because there is extra room there with extra seating area. And we have discovered there's a couple of secret cabins in that category that are almost like a 1-bedroom, and but you're not paying for that. So the suites go all the way on up to the funnel suite, which is the highest category on Disney Cruise Line. It's considered one of their royal suites. And as some of you know, Rebecca knows, I just happened to be the lucky winner on a preview cruise of being able to stay in the funnel suite. And I don't know, Rebecca, if we have a couple minutes just to throw in some of those slides if you want to.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's look over here.
When you stay in the royal suites, there are some additional benefits. And also the 1-bedrooms and 2-bedrooms have some additional benefits. But this is the top of the line suite, and we were able to have some amazing experiences, even just in the short stay that we had, including having Palo dinner served in suite, course by course.
Wow.
And a hot breakfast, and just, here's the private elevator that's takes you up. That's the downstairs bedroom. This is a 4-bedroom, 4.5 bathroom suite that I think it sleeps 8. It is 2 stories. There is no balcony. It is built into the funnel of the ship.
Wow.
It is just absolutely stunning. Every detail with high-end bath products, that like Disney linens and beds are incredible, but the royal suites have like, I don't know what thread count, fret linens. Everything is all controlled electronically, the blinds, the shades, the lights. It is just fantastic. One of the most stunning places to, splurge or to have a special occasion with your family. We hosted a party there that night for some of our colleagues that were on board. I just happened to be the lucky travel advisor to win. So got to invite my colleagues to share. And it was just such a fantastic opportunity. So there's suites that do have hot tubs on the balconies. The royal suites on the Dream and the Fantasy and the Wish all have private hot tubs. Of course, amazing views, and definitely.
I was going to say, is this you viewing The movie from the room?
So no, that is actually the opposite side of the funnel. So
I was
kind of
gonna
like
say,
it's cute that they were playing Moana. It's the Wish Funnel Suite is Moana themed.
oh, I
That
love
is the
it.
opposite side of the funnel. So kind of walked around to the other side to get that shot.
Amazing.
You don't
Gosh,
you
you
don't
would
hear anything. It's very quiet. You can look out on some of the view of the deck, but you can just put down the shears if you want. Depending on if you want to show off to everybody that you're in the suite or you want privacy. It
gosh,
is
you would have
really,
had to
really
drag me
cool.
out of that room.
It is a really special area. So, perks include getting Palo or Enchanté dinner delivered to your room. That is not available into anything but the Royal Suites. One bedroom suites and higher can have main dining room, breakfast, lunch, and dinner delivered to their suite at no charge. You just have to arrange that with your concierge. And then there's also an enhanced room service menu from the Concierge Galley on the Disney Wish for, again, one bedroom suites and higher. There's pillow menus. There's a refrigerator being stocked for you. So there's beautiful robes, slippers. I became obsessed with the concierge robes. I had to buy one and bring it home. I would
I
kind of
love
live
it.
in that most of the time. I really should have just wore it for this because that would have been my authentic self, wearing my robe and talking about Disney Cruise Line.
Oh, I
So
love
there's so much more to cover, but I think that really, hits a lot of the highlights. There are also some special experiences on board. We believe that they'll probably bring back, hopefully, the exclusive character reception that they have for
Ooh.
concierge. It was discontinued for COVID, but usually one time during the cruise, they will invite concierge guests to a special reception where one of the characters will appear. We have seen that
Awesome.
come back a little bit on Alaska. Hopefully, that'll be more routine. And concierge guests now across the fleet also have priority access to the theater shows. So they let them in
Ooh.
early. You do have to be willing to get there early. They're not going to hold your seat for you, but you can get in ahead of everybody else. They provide you popcorn. You can grab your beverage from the lounge, and you can choose your seat anywhere in the theater, which is really nice. So they just make sure that you are well taken care of.
Amazing. Gosh, there are so many perks that come with concierge. I know somebody asked how much does it cost? So I'm sure it depends. And there are inside concierge staterooms, right? If you
There's
want to,
no inside concierge
there's
staterooms,
not.
and on every ship, all of the concierge staterooms are at least veranda, except on the Disney Wish that has those special rooms. And really, those are still priced almost the same as the veranda concierge.
Wow.
So you have to book a concierge category when you're pulling it up or you're working with your travel advisor. It has to say concierge in the name of the room. And the cost is just going to vary based on, like everything else with Disney, the time of year, the
Mhm.
category, the ship. The Wish is definitely in high demand for concierge, the number of people. But peak times are going to be higher. We sometimes find some great options. Concierge can sometimes be as much as double or more of a regular veranda. Sometimes there's only maybe a 25 to 30% premium. So it really, really depends on the cruise. I always joke when we see that, is it worth it?
Yes.
Question, because you will see a range of opinions. Obviously, most people think it's worth it because Disney is building more and better. So
Mhm.
people are paying for it and enjoying it. And we know that most of our clients love it. Every once in a while, there might be somebody that says, it's not for us. We didn't think it was worth it. And I will tell you that I go back and forth. I have sailed concierge, not concierge, then gone back, forth, depending on, my life circumstances at the time, the cost, etc. And I still have a great time on
Yeah.
every cruise, but if I had my choice, it absolutely would be concierge.
Amazing. Yeah, you will never have a bad room, a bad experience on board, but just talk it through with your travel advisor. Depending on what's important to your family, you can decide if you would rather spend more on concierge, or maybe your family prefers to go all out on excursions or other onboard activities like the mixology classes. So just it's a conversation to have. Make it customized. Your travel advisor is not going to cost you anything to get this customized recommendation. So just have a conversation. It's as easy as that. And if you want to reach out to Karen and see if concierge is right for you, her link is right on screen right now. And like I said, we will definitely be putting this in the group. It'll be up on YouTube as well. So you can just go ahead and copy and paste that link. But I know there's still so many concierge questions. So I think we're going to have to do another one of these again soon.
We'll have to do part 2. Maybe we need to do it ship by ship, or
Yes.
I don't know, but it's always great to talk to Rebecca, to you, and to the whole Disney Cruise Line community, and just appreciate everybody tuning in and making it such a great conversation.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Karen. If you guys have any questions, feel free to continue to put those in the comments. Karen's great about following up with those. And we will talk to you guys soon. Everybody have such a great night.
Thanks. Good night.